All right, hey guys, here we go. We're going to get started right now. I just want to start off by saying there is going to be a recording of this, so no worries if you have to jump early or anything like that. I'm definitely going to provide that recording probably in my group, and definitely shoot me a message if you're not in there, and I'll get you in there as quickly as possible. So hopefully I am coming in loud and clear. Irfan is telling me that I am, so that's good. And we got about 62 people in here, 61 people in here, so that's pretty good. We got 100 seats here, so hopefully that fills up. But like I said, there's going to be a recording available afterwards. So I want to make this pretty much all a question and answer, and there's definitely been a lot of questions submitted onto the group. So I'm going to kind of start with some of those. You can see the agenda on your screen right now. And I do just want to mention before I have to do at least a little bit of selling. I do have a couple of coaching spots left open if you're looking for that one-on-one, and we're just getting started this week. So shoot me a message afterwards, and we can definitely talk about that. Otherwise, we're going to jump right into it, and probably the most common question that I received is really about scaling. So I had a couple of nice months where I definitely scaled up, and I have a pretty interesting strategy, I guess I could say, for how to scale, and mostly because I think that everyone could have their own strategy. I think the best thing that I've created is the fact that I have actually done any sort of kind of very specific, pretty much literally handwritten on a note, sticking right in front of my face so I see it every day, rules about how to scale, and basically to take every single part of or every single piece of emotion out of the puzzle. So you might wake up one day and have a huge sales day, and we really want to scale an ad. You want to triple it or quadruple the budget, and you're acting on emotion that way. Really you need to take that out of the picture and just follow a set of rules that really kind of go with the guidelines of general scaling rules. I think most important when you're scaling up. When you're scaling up, you don't want to scale too fast, obviously. And also, when you have scaled up and you need to lower your budget, you need to have a set plan for that as well. So rather than just kind of making decisions on the fly, I've created some scaling rules. So I'm going to share an example with you right now. Okay, so this is literally, I have, every combination from $5 to $250 in terms of budget. So what this is, first of all, this example is based on using a t-shirt product with about a $10 profit margin. So I'm really just looking, basically every sale is $10 profit, just to make things easy. The thing about you might have a different profit margin. You might be doing free plus shipping. You might be doing higher priced items. You just adjust these rules based on your profit margin. It's the same idea. You're going to see really, you'll either keep the budget the same or you'll go down, when you don't break even. So, if it's $50 profit or $10 profit, it doesn't matter. You still are just going to adjust the rules that way. But I'll jump right into mine. Again, this is with, a t-shirt, assuming $10 profit. So first of all, I start all my ads off at $5. I know a lot of people are doing $2.50, $5, $10. I'm right at the $5 mark. I will scale daily. So these rules are going to apply every single day. If I jump out to, it would be great to sell something like 6 or more on the first day, and I'll definitely increase my budget significantly. But these are daily rules for both up and down. So let's say we do $5 a day to start, and you wake up the next morning, you check your sales, you've either sold 0 or 1. At this point, you spent $5 total, so it's definitely way too early to cut an ad. I'd normally at least spend $25 to see what's going to happen. But over in this scenario, 0 or 1, I'm just keeping the budget at $5, and I'm hopefully, especially on a website conversion ad, I'm going to pretty much assume that Facebook is still optimizing the targeting that it's or that I'm giving it. So keeping it the same. If I do sell 2 or 3, I'm going to double the budget to $10. And you can say what you want about doubling, tripling, quadrupling. I don't think it's smart to quadruple and triple $100 budgets. But when you're at $5, don't be scared to double at that point. I mean, that's a minimum increase that you're going to do. So let's say I sell 2 or 3. That means I made $20 or $30 profit spending 5. That's a great ROI. I mean, it's just a little bit too early to get super excited about it. So I'll just bump it to 10. And as you can see, if I sell 4 or 5, I'm going to go to 20. And if I sell 6 or more, if I sell 6 or 16 or 60, I'm probably going to go to $25 and not much higher. Maybe if I sell 60, I'd go higher. But anything that is under 20, definitely just I stop at 25, mostly to set up the other scenarios in the following days. So let's say, in this example, we sold 2. The next day, we're going to look at, we're going to change the budget to $10. The next day, we're going to look at the $10 budget column, which is the first green column out there. And then you just literally look at the sales. And this is not total sales. This is daily sales. So that's going to be, if within the past 24 hours I sold 0 to 2, I'm just keeping the budget as is. If I sell 3 or 4, I'm bumping to 20. 4 or 5, I'm going to 25. And then again, 6 or more, I'm going to 30. These are smaller jumps, but really because I want to make sure that I'm getting consistent results, and I don't want to go too fast at the beginning, but I still want to go high enough where I'm set up to go in some other days to be kind of significantly high. So let's say on this $10 spend, I sell 3. I make $30 less the $10 ad cost, I make $20. Great ROI. Next day, I'm going to the next column, the second yellow column, at $20. And if I sell 0 or 1, meaning if in revenue I make 0 or $10, I'm actually going to lower the ad, especially in a kind of especially if this is the third day of a sale. I'd be worried that some ads can kind of or some products just jump out really well, and you have that first wave of buyers, and then we've all experienced this. It kind of slows down. So I'm definitely not afraid to go down in terms of budget, and I think you need to plan for that. Again, you don't want to emotionally just drop your budget because you lost $50 or $100 the day before. So 0 to 1, I'm going down. 2 to 3 sales, which is just about break even, I'm keeping it. And now at this point, I'm going to get a little bit more aggressive in scaling because this is at a $20 budget. So at 4 or 5 or 6 sales, I'm going to go to 35, and at 7 or more sales, I'm going to go to 45. So that's about a 50% increase from the maximum the day before. And then I'll show you, even going forward, it's going to get higher. So let's say there's going to be numbers between 20 and 50, obviously, but just for show a bigger number, let's say you're spending $50 a day. If you sell 0 to 3, I mean that's it's not really that close to break even. So I'm dropping it pretty significantly down to 25. Then I'm at 4, 5, or 6, which is around break even. I'll stay at 50. 7, 8, 9, 10, going to 60. And then ideally at this point, I'm selling 10 plus, and I'm going to go to 75. And I mean, when you're at $75, there's not much higher than you're going to go. I've rarely had any campaigns that reach $500 a day. I think $200 to $250 is really kind of the highest that I would confidently go to. So, build these scaling rules specifically for you. I'm going to post this in the group, just as a template so you guys can grab it. But, I think you have to take your own risk tolerance into consideration here, obviously, as well as your profit margins. So that's scaling rules. If you guys have any questions, post them in here. I'll answer at the end. Otherwise, right now I'm going to jump on to the next agenda item. And that's, definitely 1 and 1A of most popular or most commonly asked questions is niche research. So I think what I'm going to try to do is go from definitely not start to finish, but in as quickly as possible, show you kind of all the different steps of how I would start from basically having a niche to going to find a product or multiple products, and then finally finding potential ad interests inside the Facebook audience insights. So I want you guys to just literally type out and post in the chat a couple of niches, and I'm just going to pick one randomly, and we'll just literally do it live. So if you can't post in the chat, message me on Facebook, and I'll just give you guys like a minute to do that, and we'll pick an interesting one. All right, I got some interesting ones. EMT, grandma, biker. I think those are, very general good examples. Let's go with EMTs, because I've actually never done anything in that niche. So let's see, what we can find. So I think there are some steps to kind of first to review in your head. So we have a niche in mind that we want to do, and there's, a couple different criteria that you need, or groups of criteria that you need to look at to start. First of all, you need to think about, is this going to be something that you could reach on the Facebook advertising platform, and more specifically, can you reach them in scale? It's not really worth getting into a niche where you're going to already be scaled out, or you're reaching your full audience at 100, 200,000. I mean, you really want to see at least 500,000. I'd say over 1 million to shoot for, and the EMT niche is certainly going to have a huge amount. The biker niche will probably have 10 plus million, and the grandma niche is gigantic. So these are all examples of what I feel are good niches, because you're going to be able to really do a lot in there. You'll be able to think about a lot of different products, which is the next kind of criteria. You want to be able to find a niche that has products that you think people will desire. So EMTs, we've all seen the the nurse shirts and the EMT shirts on Teespring in the past. Clearly, people are buying them. We've seen stores just for grandmas. I mean, stores just for bikers. Clearly, those are highly desired niches. So you're not going to have any problem finding products. And then lastly, you want to think about just the actual customer demographics of your niche. I mean, do they buy online? Sometimes when people want to do a new kind of hot trend that a lot of younger people will like, you might be able to get a ton of engagement on Facebook. But do those people, first of all, do they even have credit cards? Do they have money that disposable income? So you want to think about all these different things, just like any marketer would. You're going to think about what the customer is like. And Facebook audience insights can definitely help you with that as well. So let's jump into finding a product for this niche. And I've honestly I haven't done this niche before. I haven't searched these things before, so I'm not sure what we're going to find. But I'm going to start with watch count. You guys have all heard of watch count. What I'm going to search in here, I don't think putting in EMTs is going to give me good results, and definitely not in a quick enough time right now for a webinar. So I know what products are out there. You guys have seen them as well. There's necklaces and phone cases. Obviously, there's T-shirts. There's prints. What else is there? There's tons and tons of bracelets, right? There's so many different things like that. There's phone charms. So I already kind of know what to type in terms of the product. So I'm going to just type in EMT bracelet, and I'm just scrolling through. This one's $7.99, $12, $5. I mean, these are all cheap enough to where you can make some money on a full price item. I'd actually be looking for, when I first enter a niche, I'd be looking for a free plus shipping item. So really this $3.99 one kind of looks the best to me at this point. Just scroll through and see some more, more charm neck bracelets. It's pretty much the same products, just, the niche differs. So, I mean, once you've kind of figured out what products to search for, you don't need to keep reinventing the wheel. Hopefully also you'll be able to find suppliers that have the same type of product but for multiple niches. So that would make your life easy too when you want to expand into other niches. Just keep working with the same supplier, because finding a reliable supplier is definitely one of the issues with AliExpress. So I think, like I said, for full price items, almost all of these seem to be pretty good. 24 watchers, 22 watchers, 15 watchers. I mean, not huge, but I think, EMTs specifically, they're not marketed products that often. And I think the impulse situation on Facebook where they're kind of just presented with a cool product would definitely work well. So I'm just going to do another search, EMT necklace, obviously very similar. There's more, these seem to be a little bit more expensive. Here's a $5 one, or a pocket watch. I've seen some people doing pocket watches for free plus shipping with lower margin. Either way, you get the idea with watch count, right? We're just going to be searching for different product types with the niche keyword. We're going to see kind of what's out there. And, it's not so much that I'm going to, definitely source this item. It's more so that I just want to see what people are watching a lot, or basically I want to see what's popular, so I can kind of start off my store with products that I have pretty high confidence that they're actually going to sell. So after watch count, I'll go to Etsy, and I think Etsy is often overlooked because first of all, these are oftentimes US-based sellers. Everyone wants to find a US-based dropshipper, so there's a lot of US-based sellers here. And a lot of these people are, they have some sort of entrepreneurial kind of mindset to be on here and selling their own goods. They are very receptive to drop shipping. I mean, why wouldn't they want to make more money? So this is a great place to find products. I think watch count is kind of my starting point, but this is where I really start to think about actual products that I'm going to source. So I'm just going in here and I'm doing EMT necklace. Who knows what's going to show up here. So, these are their retail prices. All it takes is clicking onto here and messaging two daughters or stop charming collect, just message them and say, I could drive some volume for you. I want to do drop shipping. What's the best price you could offer? I'm sure it's going to be better than this. So you might be able to find some free plus shipping products here. Either way, you could sell this for $19.99, $24.99, and make a really nice margin there. So I think this is a good option. I wouldn't add this to my store immediately because I'd want to reach out to the seller and see kind of what they how they feel about drop shipping and what better price I might be able to get on this. But this looks pretty nice. So, Etsy, again, you'll just change the keyword, maybe it's dog's necklace or dog bracelet or, grandma trinket or biker hat or whatever it is. You just put in, it's definitely not a science. You're just basically searching like you would on Google and try to find some interesting products that kind of stand out to you. Okay, then, at this point, I'm just going to AliExpress now. Now I'm actually trying to find specific products that I'm going to add to my store right now. So again, I'm going to do EMT necklace. What I'm going to do is immediately sort by orders over here, mostly because I would assume that if there are a lot of orders, and in this case there aren't, but if there are a lot of orders, then the seller is somewhat reliable, at least reliable enough to start. In this case, that's just not happening. There's only 3 here. Another thing that I'll do, especially like I said, I like to start with free plus shipping, is I'll put $3 in here, and I'll press OK. I just want to see any products that are under 3. There's nothing here. Try bracelet. But I mean, if you could source a $3 product, then you're going to be able to have success with free plus shipping. So in this case, there's really nothing. Let's try EMT. So EMT shears. I mean, I don't think Facebook's going to want you to sell something like this. It's probably not worth it. Yeah, all this looks to be the same. So let's forget about free plus shipping in this specific instance, which is fine. I'm just going to grab a normal product that I would want to source. And how about this? What is this? A little necklace. None of these are really standing out to me, honestly. But let's say this one was good enough, which I personally don't think it is. I haven't seen people selling dog tags. But either way, I have everything I need to add to my store right now. If I was in a rush, I might just grab the picture right here and save it to my computer and just really upload it into my Shopify. But I think the smarter thing to do is, again, contact these guys first. Just contact them, let them know what you're trying to do, make sure that they have stock, make sure that they're going to do e-packet to your customers if you're drop shipping, or if they're going to ship directly to you, make sure that they're going to give you DHL and hopefully give it to you for free. So yeah, this is literally where you're going to do just all your product searching, and these products can immediately or almost immediately go into your store, and at that point all you need to do is run ads to them. I think if we dug a little bit deeper and spent more time, we could probably find some good products that really have a lot more sales. I would like to see like a nice bracelet or a nice necklace with a cool charm on here to offer, but for time's sake, we're just going to go with this. At this point, you're basically bookmarking these pages, you're contacting the sellers and waiting for their response. In conjunction with this, you're going to go into audience insights, and this is where you're going to prove that there is enough targeting or enough targeting options for you to kind of spend some time in this niche. So, this is really the first step for targeting on Facebook, period. It doesn't matter if you're entering a new niche or you're trying to find new interests inside your niche, or if you just kind of want to do some customer demographic research. I mean, this is great. So I think, if you guys have any questions on targeting, this is going to be super valuable as well. And, again, I haven't done this, so I'm just, put in random things here. This one, I think that says EMT paramedic. Paramedics. Just going to try to find some more. Okay, I'm just putting in a couple. My goal is to put in enough so it can build some data over here, which is the page likes tab. And like I said, if you're doing customer demographics, this is pretty interesting. It says that 51% of these people are women. Some other stuff that they like. Honestly, I'm mostly concerned with this, the page likes section, and I don't really care about this section much. And this is where when people talk about affinity levels, this is what they're talking about. So if nothing shows up here, it means you don't have enough interest in here for Facebook to kind of make their next best guess on what else they like. But obviously stuff is in here. Important to note that not everything in here is going to be targetable inside of Facebook ads. This is just really everything on Facebook. But if you see something with like 100,000 or more as the audience, there's a pretty good chance that this is going to be a targetable interest inside your ads. So all you got to do is add things here, and then this is really credit to Matt Schmidt. I think everyone's using his technique here. You're taking some of these other terms here and then you're throwing them back up here to really figure out kind of the most precise combination of all these interests. So sometimes not everything shows up. Well, first I'm going to sort by affinity, obviously, because you want to see what has the highest affinity score. And I don't look for any specific number. I kind of just look for what's at the top of the top of this niche. So I'm finding paramedics on Facebook, EMS products, which I always like targeting other stores if you can, because their fans are probably buyers. EMS World, this might be another store, I'm not sure. EMT City, all these seem to be pretty good for potential targets. And again, you're not building ads here, you're just kind of proving that there is going to be enough option, or there will be enough options for you to kind of move forward with this niche. So I think if you saw a page like this where there's this many kind of grouped around the same top affinity score, and you could pick out a couple that are over 100,000, I think that you're going to have pretty good confidence that this is going to be a targetable ad. So yeah, I mean that's kind of very quickly. That's definitely not start to finish, but that's from products and proving out a niche, basically proving that it's worth your time. So again, put questions in the chat box. Again, I'm moving pretty quickly on this, so we would have spent more time literally looking for some really great products, but you get the general idea. So again, put questions in the chat box, and I will address them at the end. Otherwise, we're going to move on to the next part, free plus shipping. I personally love free plus shipping. I like it for a lot of different reasons, and one, there's definitely money to be made on it if you find a nice product. And I've been doing shipping costs for between $7.95 and $9.95, so you can definitely make money. But I think the best part about it is it's the cheapest way to kind of enter into a new niche, because I mean, if you can't sell a free product in a niche, you're going to have a really hard time selling a full price product. So that's what I was saying when we were looking for EMTs. I would have loved to found a $3 or under item that I could source and drop ship, because that's going to be the quickest way to kind of test and figure out, take everything that you just saw in Audience Insights and, start creating ad combinations for them and seeing what works. So I guess first we could talk about types of products, and I kind of already showed you some of the ones, definitely the ones that I would go for first. So we're talking about things like bracelets, jewelry, specifically bracelets and necklaces and little pendants. I constantly see those, like charms. Those are great because they're very light to ship, and that's super important for drop shipping, or more important if you're going to do in-house fulfillment, because you could really save. Your shipping cost is obviously tied to the weight. So these items are normally under an ounce, so that's great. Going into shipping concerns. Oh, one more thing about products. I mean, you don't want to cut yourself too thin on the margin, because I mean the goal really is to break even and figure out the niche. But I mean, if you have a $4 or $5 product and you're selling at $7.95 shipping, I mean, for a new niche, you're not going to enter and get $2 CPAs. It's just not realistic. So, $3 max. I like doing stuff really that's $2 and change. That would be great. Harder to find, but great when you do find it. Shipping concerns. There are a lot of them. And, I know some people are very hesitant to kind of do free plus shipping because of all the complaints and, the volume of orders and the turnaround times, especially when you're sourcing things from AliExpress. I think that, you want to find a light product, but you want to find a cheap product. And the reason why you want to find a cheap product is, let's say you have 10 angry customers a week, and they're threatening chargebacks and they're going to give you bad reviews, blah blah blah. I mean, wouldn't it be better to just send them 10 more of these $2 products and just basically shut them up? I mean, that's the best part about free plus shipping. You can learn here, and you're not going to you're not going to lose a $25 item when you have to refund something. I mean, you're talking about $2, $3 items. I mean, you could refund those all day. Again, the goal isn't to make a lot of money. It's to prove what niche that you're entering and figure out the targeting. So, I mean, don't automatically refund everyone or resend things, but when you think about the cost, consider compared to the headache, it's definitely well worth refunding. So, in my opinion, there are no shipping concerns because you can easily just replace or resend anything to angry customers. I think tied to the idea of some people being scared of free plus shipping, the turnaround times. I mean, there's nothing you could do except be upfront about that. Put it in your FAQs, put it in your shipping policies, put it in your terms of service, put it as many places as you can. So you're not trying to hide the fact that it's going to take 30 days from from the time of order. So just let them know, and they may not be happy about it, but they'll definitely at least feel like that you were upfront about it. Free plus shipping, you'd be losing tons of money if you didn't have an upsell app and some full price items in the store that you're doing this free plus shipping. Maybe 5 to 10% will take, probably more like 3 to 5% will take your upsell offer on free plus shipping traffic. But still, I mean, that's a higher priced item. It's a higher margin item, and honestly, there's not much difference, or actually, there's zero difference between a free plus shipping product and a full price product. It's really just based on how you price it. So I've seen products that I've sold for free plus shipping, other people are selling for $24.99 and making sales. So, it's really the presentation and the psychology of the buyer, or kind of how you play into their psychology with pricing tricks and stuff like that. So, long story short, have full price items in your store and have an upsell app. So everyone that's buying this free item is also presented with, a pretty related full priced product. So again, best part of free plus shipping is not the money that you make, but it's proving the niche, figuring out what targets work in the niche, and it also incredibly builds your assets. It's a shame that the old pixel is going away, because free plus shipping combined with a niche pixel, it seemed like that would work the majority of the time. So when you're doing these website conversion ads, you're building obviously your website custom audience, so that's for retargeting audiences. And you're also, building your conversion pixel completely. And I'm talking about the old conversion pixel. You're building that, with all buyers from that niche. So when you do move into full price products, you're going to just have a much easier time, since you already have a fully seasoned niche pixel. So you have about 7 months left of using that, and I definitely recommend that you take advantage of it. I mean, we could talk about the new pixel another time. I don't think it's good or bad. It doesn't really matter. I'm still using the old pixel on every free plus shipping offer because I want to build up that asset. Again, I do all website conversion ads, so you can understand why it's so important to me. I just want to talk briefly about CPA targets, cost per acquisition. Basically, how much does it cost you to make a free plus shipping sale? And someone posted it in the group a couple days ago, and I think they had like $2.35 per sale, that would cost per sale, and I thought that was high. And I think that that's a great price. If you could acquire a customer in free plus shipping for $2.35, and you have let's say a $3 product, and you're charging $9.95 for shipping, you're now talking about about $3 to $4 of profit per sale. And these are not full price items that you're selling. You could be selling 10, 20, 30, 100 of these products a day with relative ease. So look for CPAs under $3. But again, if you can break even at maybe 4 and change, then it might be worth keeping going. I try to keep everything under $3.50 unless I'm really desperate to enter into a niche and I just want the data. So you could always justify the fact that you can get the data to really make it more worthwhile. And finally, again, with the idea of people being scared of free plus shipping, if you're using your ad copy to basically just in all caps say, get this free product, click here, you could kiss your Facebook ads account goodbye. I mean, you're going to get so many complaints, and they're just not going to want to deal with anything like that. So just be extra safe in your copy. Make sure it's free plus shipping and handling. If you're going to have an ad image where it says free, make sure that it says free plus shipping. Just keep that phrase together, and I think you should be relatively safe. But again, it's about being upfront, because if they find out that they're getting 20 to 30 day shipping time only when they email you on the 25th day, I think they're going to be extremely upset. And at that point, you can't do anything other than tell them to wait 5 more days. So that's pretty much it for free plus shipping. It's really all about the ability to test the niche and the ease of making a free sale rather than a full price sale. So like I said, I love it, and I think everyone should still be doing it. Otherwise, again, put any questions in the chat box or message them to me on Facebook, and we'll cover them at the end. I'm going to jump right into the next thing. This is super quick, but I think it's incredibly important. I call it the ROI mindset. And everyone knows, ROI, return on investment. How much are you spending a day in ads versus how much are you, returning in profit? Everyone wants to be over 100% ROI, right? Like that's the number that you think is, I'm doing great if I have over 100% ROI. I think, ROI is important, but, it's a huge, there's a huge misconception about ROI, or at least in terms of how people think about it. So, if you think about what would you rather have, 300% ROI or 50% ROI, with just that data, I guess you say, okay, I'd rather have the highest ROI. It's really, it's a meaningless question at this point, because you don't know what you're spending. It's all about what you spend compared to your ROI. I would take, and so I put these two examples you can see on the screen, right? So let's say you spend $200 on ads and you have 300% ROI. It's great. It's really amazing percentage. But at the end of the day, it's $600 profit. You're doing great for $200, but it seems like if you can sell things at 300% return on investment, you should be selling. You should be really scaling that. So look at the other example then. Say you spend $5,000 in one day, and your ROI goes down 6 times. It's only 50% now, but the profit is almost 5 times as high, because of the fact that who cares about getting 100% ROI if you're only spending a couple dollars? I mean, I'd rather get 50% ROI on 5,000, or I'd rather get 10% ROI on $1 million. That's still going to be more money than focusing on slow rolling $5 ads just to maintain your ROI. I don't think there's any benefit in that. Like I said, I scale daily, and I want to get to scaling as quickly as possible. I mean, I don't want to have an ad sit there for $5 and sell 1 or 2. I think that's really how you can get to some bigger numbers. Get to a lower ROI. And I'm sure if you looked at a chart of all of my really big winners, the ROI probably goes straight down over the course of the campaign, and my profit per day probably goes completely reverse, goes straight up, because I'm just spending more. So don't be afraid to spend more and lower your ROI and increase your CPA. It doesn't matter. You're making more sales overall, and that's what's important. So, if you have limited funds in terms of spending, then sure, you have to really be a little bit more careful, and then you really want to shoot for that first example. But once you get going in this and you have some good cash flow, I mean, it's all about scaling and spending a lot, and just making sure that the ROI is still positive. So that's it for scaling rules. I'm sorry, not scaling rules. ROI mindset. Yeah, that's super important, but not much to learn other than just kind of remember these examples. The next thing we're going to cover that I get asked a lot is again on the targeting, and it's all about grouping interests. So I have a strategy. People will say, should I go right to the broad interests and have 3 million people in my audience? I like to target between 75,000 and 300,000. That's really the sweet spot for me. I've been doing that ever since I kind of started, a couple of years ago on Teespring. I mean, I think that's still been working, and those sizes, especially for starting, when you're trying to enter a new niche or you're trying new interest targets, I think that's a good size. It's big enough to where you're not going to run through it in a couple of days, but it's not so big that everyone and their mother likes, is in that group. So these are definitely most of the time not the uppercase, quote unquote, broad interests. But you can still use those interests, but just do intersecting, like with flex targeting, right? You're going to want to put combine a million person audience and a 1.5 million audience, and maybe end up with 270,000 or something. That, that works for me. That's in my sweet spot. But 1 million, 1.5 million, 900,000, I'm staying away from that. I really only go to these huge audiences after I have a super clear winner, where this ad is just, crushing it, and then, or the product is crushing it, and I just basically want to show it to as many people as possible. And, that's a great scaling strategy, but that's not how you start, at least in my opinion. So the one other thing that I do in interest, is why I called it grouping interest, is that I put everything together, and I think this was taught, a couple of years ago, probably more, about, the way to identify interest is to really think about all the different kind of categories within that niche. So, for example, let's say it's in the dog niche, or let's use the EMT niche. Actually, maybe there's EMT associations, and I would combine all of those associations into one interest group, and I would try to, with intersecting, I would try to get it between 75 and 300,000. That would be one ad set, and then another ad set I would have would be all of the EMT related magazines. That's I'm going to put all of them together, and I want to still be in that sweet spot number. Then a third ad set maybe is going to be, EMT stores. I'll put all the stores that sell EMT related goods in one group. The point is, I want to reach as diverse of an audience inside a niche as possible, as quickly and as cheaply as possible. So I'm not going to sit there and do one ad set for EMT Association of America, and I'm not going to do one ad set for EMT Union of America. I'm going to put them all together, because I think that especially when you intersect that, you're going to find kind of the best representatives of that interest group. And again, it's all about figuring out the niche as quickly as possible. So this is the best way to do it, and also the cheapest way to do it. So that's very quick on grouping interest. Let me know if you have any questions on that. Let's see. This is this isn't heavily requested, but I think it's super important. And this is kind of a quick step-by-step on how to do a website conversion ad using a photo post. So this is where you get to use that 1200 by 1200 picture. Yes, this image is not going to be a clickable link, but that's fine, because you just put the link in the copy. So this is pretty much a combination of a PPE ad in terms of look and feel, and a website conversion ad in terms of the objective and targeting. So let's see where I have my Power Editor. Yeah, so by the way, this has to be done in Power Editor. There's no escaping it. So, here you are in Power Editor, and, this is great. You're going to basically want to click over here in the ad section. This is just a kind of a shortcut to get everything created at once. And you're going to click Create Ad. First thing you're going to do is go to Create New, and you're going to scroll down and click Website Conversions. So this is all about, again, this is a website conversion photo post. So you're doing website conversion, clicking on there, enter your ad name, enter your ad set, your ad set name, whatever you want here. Just putting in anything. Okay, create. It's going to create the ad set, and campaign all at once. You see them stacked here. Here's the campaign. Here's the ad set. Here's the ad. In this case, you would, well, first let's go over here. You're going to choose a conversion pixel here, and this is, could be your niche pixel. This could be your new Facebook pixel, where you would choose add to cart or checkout or whatever objective you want to, or whatever conversion action you want to optimize for. But obviously you have to pick something here. This is a conversion ad, so you need a conversion pixel. Here, I'm going to $5. Start all my ads at $5. I don't like starting ads at night, so I'd probably schedule this. Just schedule this for tomorrow morning. And then I'm going to go down to Edit Audience. I'm going to do my targeting here. I like to start with 19-year-olds. I just figure they have a little bit more money, and maybe have a credit card. And we could just kind of go from that other example and look at what we could find here for. So we saw EMT City previously in that high affinity list. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to show some other related interests. Remember, I'm trying to find my 75,000 sweet spot. But let's just pretend, for the sake of time, that we have our targeting set. This is how you're going to target no matter what type of ad it is anyway. So just have this set up, save it. And at that point, let's see, I check off right column and audience network because it's a website conversion ad, so it's not going to fit nicely in the right-hand side. This will definitely work for Instagram if you upload a, I think it's 1048 by 1048 ad size image. But right now we're just going to focus on newsfeed, it's your typical ad. So that's pretty much all you need to do for this section, for the ad sets. Whoops. Let's see. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that. So now we're on the ad page. Now here was the ad set, and here's the ad page. I'm sorry, the ad. We're going to go, this is the important section right here. So see it says create ad, and this is where you would normally create your link post. And then it would, you'd use a 1200 by, I think, 674 image size. The way to actually use your photo post is to click this use existing post. And then you have two options here. You can use a post from your page. So, let's say you upload you're creating a PPE look and feel post, and you post it on your page. You can click the drop down and it would be there. This is just a random old page, so there's nothing in there. Either way, you're going to probably want to make a dark post. So this is how you make a dark post for a website conversion photo ad. You're just going to click this checkbox, and it's literally going to pop up the status box that you would have on your fan page. So you type in whatever you want. I'm just going to put in a random. We'll put in some random text here. Okay. And then you're not going to want to have any link update there. You're going to want to upload your own photo. So I created this, this sample one just for the sake of showing the size. 1200 by 1200 is the, is the size of the ad image that you're going to use. So, clicking this would just open that in the lightbox window, showing a bigger version. But here's where you give them the call to action and the link to your product. So the only other thing you might want to do on here is you could add your UTM tags for Google Analytics. If you're using, in my opinion, that's still the best way to track variables on Shopify. So you would just throw that in there. Otherwise, everything else is good to go. If you had an Instagram, if you were targeting Instagram as one of the placements, it would have a section right here to show what Instagram account it's going to go. But this is exactly what they're going to see on desktop. Here's mobile. So you can see how much of a difference it is. Literally cut it in half, and that's what you would get for the link post. So I think, I've tested, the comparisons between the two. I found photo to be great. Some people said that photo posts were dead earlier in the fall, I guess, and that really wasn't the case for me. So I've been doing them, and like I said, I recommend doing them, especially to start all your ads. So yeah, that's about it for website conversion photo posts. I mean, it's just a couple of steps. You create the campaign ad, an ad set. You pick a pixel. You do your targeting just like you would everywhere else. Select newsfeed, and again, the most important part is use existing post and pressing this plus button to create a new dark post. So it's not going to show up on your page. This is just an ad, and this is the way to do it right now, in my opinion. So let's see, what else do we have to cover? Oh yeah, fulfillment options. A lot of people ask me about fulfillment options, and like I've been saying, if you have any questions on what we just covered, put it in the box or message me, and we will definitely cover them at the end. Fulfillment options. So there are 4 ways, or 4 different options you have when you're doing physical products on Shopify in terms of fulfilling. And what I recommend to everyone in terms of starting is to do drop shipping. That's just the easiest. I mean, you will run into problems with suppliers from AliExpress just being incredibly hard to work with, but like I said earlier, when you have those problems, you have to swallow the loss, and luckily the loss is $3 a product or something like that, so it's not a huge deal. But drop shipping, there's going to be 2 ways you do it on AliExpress. One, well, first you should message the seller and tell them you want to drop ship, just to see if they understand, see if they've done it before. And then you want to also ask them, how can you send them orders in bulk? Because some people will just not want to deal with anything off of AliExpress, and they're going to literally make you enter 30 or 40 or however many number of orders you have. You'll have to enter them in manually, and that just is boring. And you get your VA to do it, and then you have to worry about them doing it accurately. So, I think the best way to do it is at the beginning, tell them that you're going to drop ship with them. You're going to be able to give them some nice volume. They'll be able to make money. I would also at this point ask for a lower price, and then I would say, I'm going to send you every week an Excel document, and which you literally export with one click from Shopify, and you're just going to send that to them. It's going to have the customer's address and the product name and all that stuff, and they're just going to send it off. So hopefully they respond back and say, okay, sounds good. If not, some people may start by doing the manual input, and that's okay. But I do think that that's not scalable at all. So you want to move away from that. But not everyone will accept the exports at the beginning. Build some sales with them, and then once they start making money off you, you'll be surprised about how much better they can get at customer service. So there's that. Next one is T-shirts, and I put that as a different option because everyone or almost everyone is going to be using one of the T-shirt fulfillment options that are out there. There's T-Launch, there's ThreadMeUp, there's Teespring just came out with theirs. There is Sunfrog just announced theirs. I saw that Represent is going to announce theirs in January. I'm sure there's Tzilly Plus. There's a lot of options. There's Custom Cat. There's a pricing war going on as well, which benefits us, the sellers. So there's some $10 or $12 shipped for some of the places right now. I think it's promotional pricing, but either way, there's some awesome options out there, and this is really kind of drop shipping by definition. I mean, you're basically providing a design. You're somehow connecting that design with these printers, whether it's ThreadMeUp or T-Launch, whatever. And then, when an order comes in, it automatically gets sent out to the printer, and they handle everything else at that point in terms of, delivery of the item. Obviously, customer service is still your responsibility, but this is the most hands-off option for, apart from really going to a fulfillment center. This is the most hands-off option you can find. And, there's no doubt that T-shirts are still working, so don't think that it's, the T-shirt craze is over. Still make a lot of money on T-shirts, and, you really don't have to worry about the fulfillment. The third option is what I've moved on to doing is in-house fulfillment. I think this is where you have the most control. This only works if you have a staff, or if, you really want to sit there and enter, print out 10,000 labels and send out 10,000 products. I mean, you'll do this when you have volume and you'll be able to pay people. And I think the best thing that I've done is pay per piece fulfilled. I can't tell you how motivated the people are to actually do the fulfillment when they can make 50 cents every time they stick a piece of jewelry in a mailer or something like that. So that's a good way your friends and family will want to do it. If you can give them 5,000 orders in a weekend, you'll be happy to pay them $2,500, and they'll be happy to get it, and it'll keep your margins down really, because when you could order in bulk, you'd be surprised at how low the cost per unit can get for stuff on AliExpress. Sometimes 100% cheap, or I'm sorry, not 100%, 50% cheaper than the I guess advertised price. So in-house fulfillment is great. You really don't need much. You need a couple of label printers. You need some sort of integration with like a ShipStation or a Shipping Easy, which are some options on Shopify. They're both terrible, but you really have no other option except to use them. And then the last option is fulfillment centers. I think this is the most hands-off option. Obviously, you just basically get your supplier to send directly to your fulfillment center. A lot of them will use ShipStation to connect with Shopify, so the orders will go directly to them. Obviously, you're paying. You're not only paying for the shipping materials and costs, but you're paying for their warehouse space, and you're paying for their labor. So for free plus shipping items, this is almost not. It's pretty much impossible to do with fulfillment centers. But if you really want fully automated stores and give up a couple dollars of your profit margin if you don't want to set up in-house fulfillment, then this is a good way to go. A lot of people ask me what fulfillment centers should you use, and honestly, I have no idea. I haven't really done any research. If anyone knows of any good ones, post them in the group. I'm sure that would be helpful for some people, but right now I prefer drop shipping for new niches and in-house fulfillment for developed niches. So yeah, that's it for what I had planned in terms of some of the pre-submitted questions. I have some messages already for some questions. I'll give you guys. I'm gonna get a quick drink, and guys send me some messages about more questions, and then we'll just answer them for the next 20, 30 minutes. Again, thanks for coming. I hope this was helpful for everyone, and definitely post as many questions as you want, and I'm always down to answer any questions posted in the group as well after this. So I'll also post the recording in there. And one more time, I do have a couple of spots left for a 2-month coaching program that's just getting started. So again, message me about that. And I'm going to answer your guys' questions in just a minute. Okay, guys. So there's a ton of questions here, and I'm going to try to get through as many as possible. I didn't even notice these niches that you guys sent in. Those are all great ones. Cats, grandmas, cell phone cases. See, I wouldn't consider cell phone cases a niche. I would consider grandmas a niche, and then I would sell cell phone cases to grandmas. I think it's just too hard to sell a general brand not a general brand, but just a general product on Facebook. You need to really lean on a niche to do the targeting. Grandparents, cycling, skating, I guess ice skating, pit bull, MMA, horses, snowboard, another grandmother, camping, jewelry, um, beer, yoga, cycling, movies. All those are great niches, and honestly, you guys should all be looking to kind of find a niche exactly like that because they're all huge. Probably ice skating is the smallest of all those, and it's still going to be really big. So that's those are all great examples. I'm going to just jump into the questions. Ron Ruiz, if you're still here, just message me on Facebook or send me a question in here if we're not friends. That's for everyone. If anyone is interested in that coaching, just message me there. Okay, Marie Doherty, how do you sell T-shirts? I use T-Launch and I use ThreadMeUp, and I just recently stopped using a local source that I found here, but I really I like both of those companies a lot. Pricing wise, I think they're very competitive, and in my opinion, T-Launch has the best app right now just because it's super easy to use, and I don't want to have to go into 2 different places I don't want to have to create my design on the platform just for it to be available on the other side. ThreadMeUp, I think ThreadMeUp is probably the best T-shirt platform out there. No one uses them for some reason, but that's fine. They just came out with their app a couple of weeks ago, and it's definitely awesome. Pricing is great, and the thing about both those companies is really it's the support that I think matters. They both have great support. They've both been very reliable in terms of printing. I haven't had many issues from either side. So yeah, I think both those are great options. But like I said, there's a price war going on right now, so you guys can take advantage of that. If you haven't committed to any of these companies, you'll be able to find one that probably really wants your business. So just keep your eyes open for that. They're all over the groups too. Like I said, Sunfrog just announced theirs today, and Teespring just sent out the first beta group. So there's going to be a lot more coming on that. And I'm actually going to be doing a webinar probably next week, kind of comparing all the options. So check out my group for information on how to get in on that. Okay, Les, I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name, but that's okay. How do you scale? Do you edit the existing budget of the running ad, or do you make a new audience? Yeah, so I mean, my first scaling technique is by budget. A lot of people want to duplicate ads and kind of go horizontally. I want to go. I want to go to $200 daily spend per ad set as quickly as possible. Like I was saying in the ad set rules, I'm going to scale daily because I want to be spending as much as possible so I could have a higher, a higher profit number no matter what the ROI is, right? That's about that mindset thing. So I'm going to edit the budget of an existing ad. When I have really awesome campaigns, I'm also going to go horizontally, like I was saying. I'll create new ad sets with the same exact ad, and I will reach other interest groups in that niche that I know or think are going to work. But I'm first focusing on getting my ad to spend as much as possible profitably. Albert, hey Albert, if you're still here, does this apply to physical products and T-shirts? Yes, everything I said is about either a free plus shipping item or like a $19.99 to $29.99 physical product, whether it's a shirt or a necklace or a poster or whatever. Okay, I'm not sure. So when you find a product that you think is a good niche, how do you go about making sure the competition isn't too high? That's a good question, Devin, and I'm glad you asked it so I could say this thing. I don't think there is any competition on Facebook, and I'm not saying that because I think I'm better than the competition. I'm saying it because it's true for all of you as well. Facebook is so big that we could probably all sell the same product, and if we have and it's a big enough audience with the right targeting, we're all going to make money at the same time. So I wouldn't really be too concerned about that. I mean, everyone saw nurse shirts on Teespring in 2013, and that's still a great niche right now. And I wonder how many people are in that niche. I mean, I'm in it. I know probably at least 10 other people that are in it. So, there is. I don't think you should worry about competition. I think you should worry more about the ability to target a wide variety of people on Facebook, like I was showing in Audience Insights. Okay, when you have a cold pixel and are starting off, are you still starting with website conversion ads? And if so, how are you optimizing it? Yeah, I still am. I see that, you're asking, did I view, this is Bo Solano. Are you optimizing for view cart, add to cart, or purchase? I took this from Phil, and he is optimizing for add to carts. I'm doing the same. I'm definitely still doing website conversion, $5 ads to start. Because even if it's a cold pixel, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, you still have the targeting to lean on, so it's not like you're just going blind. But I'll do add to cart for the new pixel because that just is more common than a purchase, and it's all about data. The reason why I do the free shipping because I just want to have as much data as possible run through that pixel. Mikey 4, is there a minimum affinity score that you use? No. It doesn't, it doesn't matter. I just want to see what's at the top of the affinity list. I don't care if it's 21x or 200x. If that's the top one, then I have some faith that it's going to be pretty good. Les, again, how long is a typical AliExpress delivery from China? It depends on what shipping service you get. I buy in bulk, so I'm getting DHL, and it's 3 to 5 days. If you're using ePacket, they say 5 to 15 days. I would really, first of all, plan for five days processing and then probably 15 to 20 shipping. So you're looking at 20 to 25. And then if they're just doing China Post, I mean, who knows, right? It's going to be like 3 to 7 weeks and probably closer to the higher end of that. So you want to do at least ePacket if you're doing drop shipping. Vadim, yeah, there's going to be a recording. I'm going to post it in the group, in my group on Facebook. How to eliminate like by association in Facebook. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure what you mean, Fayez. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. But if you want to clarify, send another question in here and I'll get to it for sure. Um, Facebook cracking down on free plus shipping from less. Yeah, they are. And then Ty eBay bot said pretty much the same thing. I mean, you have to, like I said, be very safe in your ad copy, and don't try to hide the fact that it's free plus shipping. I mean, I look at the comments on my Facebook ads all the time, and they that's the a lot of people ask that question, and people actually come to my defense and say, it says plus shipping, you have to expect it's going to cost something. So, just be upfront about it. Put it in your ad copy. Don't put free in the first sentence and then hide just shipping and, a couple sentences further down. Put it right next to each other, literally the phrase free plus shipping and handling or free plus shipping. Yeah, you just don't want to risk anything. So I don't think it puts you in jeopardy if you're doing it correctly, but I do think it puts you in jeopardy if you're trying to be shady about it. Reginald, what is the best starting age group for buyer's intent? I used 20 and up, or sometimes 19 and up, depending on the niche. If it's if it goes to if it skews younger, I'll start at 19. If it's just a general one, I'll start at 20. Marie Doherty, what do you think of free shipping instead of free plus shipping? I don't think it works as well at all. I mean, I've tested it, and like I said, I go to free plus shipping because it's so easy to make conversions. It's not easy to, adding free shipping doesn't increase your conversion rate so drastically like it does on a free plus shipping store where you're seeing 10 to 20% conversion overall. Free plus shipping may bump you a half a percentage point or a percentage point up, but it's not. It doesn't serve the purpose that I'm using free plus shipping, which is to test the niche as quickly as possible. Islam said, how do you handle fulfillment? Do you outsource it at all? The reason I ask is on eBay I have to log into PayPal. I mean, I have someone in house that's literally next to me most of the time that is handling this fulfillment. But other people have had this issue with giving out personal details, and especially on PayPal. And I know for a fact on AliExpress you could store your payment details just once, and then your VA never has to actually look at it. So I'm not sure about them logging in onto your PayPal account under different areas. That might raise red flags. But on AliExpress, your VA can definitely do it, and if your payment information is saved, then they don't ever see it. Okay, eBay bot. I mean, this is the only time I'm even going to address something like this. Do you do any copyright products? No. I mean, anyone who does it at this point, just don't do it, I think. So, we shouldn't even really be talking about that in this group. And, but, otherwise, yeah, stay away from obviously that kind of stuff. His example is Batman. Yeah, and that's for sure something to stay away from. I mean, that's copyrighted for sure. And unless you're, selling from a licensed distributor and they don't exist on AliExpress, even if people will tell you that they are, then you're going to get in trouble. Are your full price items exclusively higher priced items compared to your free plus shipping items? This is from May. Yeah, they are. They're definitely higher priced. The free plus shipping items are, it's only going to cost them about $7.95 to $9.95. The higher priced items are going to start at $19.99 plus shipping too. So I mean, yeah, the whole point of having the high price items when you're doing free plus shipping is just for people who are, first of all, you're going to show the upsell, and second of all, you're going to be able to do more cross-selling as well, like related products and stuff like that. Do you put the actual shipping price in the FB ad? No, I don't. This is from eBay bot. I don't do that. I think that would be going a step further in terms of being transparent, and that may or may not be a good idea. I just personally don't do it. On Facebook reports, how do you ensure accuracy of the conversion value? I don't rely on it at all. I do my own reporting on a daily basis based on ad spend and sales and revenue. So I don't, especially with Shopify changing to the thank you page or the confirmation page being a tracking page, a lot of the conversion values are messed up anyway. So I don't really look into that too much. I look at the reports on Shopify, and then I look at my daily ad spend. Tommy Wynn, What's the size you recommend for an audience? 75,000 to 300,000 per ad set, but I wouldn't go into a niche that's lower than 500,000. Dion Rupert, am I intersecting every group? No, I only intersect when the audiences are too big and I want to get it lower. So if you're just doing some I don't know, for example, dogs, there's tons of rescue groups. You could just kind of add in 10, 20 rescue groups and add up to like 200,000. So you don't need to intersect if you don't need to. Fayez, if you're still here, there's going to be a recording, so you'll be able to go over that, whenever you want in terms of the niche selection. Pierre, the cloud investor. It's an interesting name. Do I ever use PPE ads? I used to use them a lot, but I don't use them anymore. I mean, I think things go up and down in terms of effectiveness. Right now, for me, it's website conversion. Last year, it was definitely PPE, so maybe I'll use them again in the future. I'm not really sure. Mikey 4, do you optimize for add to cart or purchase? Yeah, I do add to cart. Jim, hey Jim, is this being recorded? Yeah. It's going to be in the group, so you'll be able to get it, or just shoot me a note. Okay, eBay bot. So what if you do find a good selling product and prove a niche? Do you just scale up the current product that has been selling? I mean, if it's selling really well, I'll definitely scale it. But again, the goal of entering a new niche is just to prove that it's going to work, not to make a ton of money on the first products, especially free plus shipping. So I would be more concerned with scaling up a full price product. Marie Doherty, if your niche is pet accessories and you have a dog fan page, how do you niche it down? I don't think the fan page is really that important anymore. So I mean, I would just use that fan page, and when you're selling whatever product you're selling, I would create an ad specifically to each breed. Like for example, your example, Chihuahua. Just have make your ad image with Chihuahuas and the ad copy to Chihuahuas, but you don't need to change the page. I think that just gets pretty time consuming, and I don't think likes are so valuable anymore. Norman, do I send out orders weekly? We're sending out orders every day. So I think weekly it would be a little bit of a lag considering. Let's see. George, how's it going, George? How do you test before doing bulk? Just the way I described. It's not going to be bulk at the beginning. It's going to be drop shipping. So I'm going to do those free plus shipping products, and I'm not expecting to sell 100. I'm expecting to sell maybe 5 or 6 a day, and pretty much just figure out what targeting groups work the best. So don't expect to go bulk at the beginning. Definitely expect to do drop shipping. And when he says bulk, he means ordering in bulk from the supplier. Sophia, hey Sophia, how's it going tonight? Can you give an example of how to track a website conversion ad? What will a URL tracking link look like? Yeah, I'll show you very quickly. I referenced the UTM builder, which is the way to connect. Well, first of all, you need to connect Google Analytics to your store. And if you haven't done that, I could definitely help you with that. Just post in our group. But here, if you can still see my screen, yeah, this is the URL builder. I just Googled UTM builder or URL builder. Either one is going to work, and it's going to come up with this. It's from Google. It's going to come up with this form. All you're doing is pasting in your store, your product URL right here. So the actual product, not your store. I'm just going to do store.com/example. And then you're going to go down here, and you need to fill out these different boxes with a star. So campaign source, this is you're going to put Facebook. Down here, you're going to put the type of ad. Maybe you're going to put website conversion. And then the campaign name here, this is where your variable would have gone for the people who did Teespring, but this is where you're going to track. So let's say you're advertising, you're advertising to Topshop in this case. You're going to put Topshop right here. And then you're going to press generate URL, and it's going to spit out this new URL. You can see the beginning of the store right here. And then everything after the question mark, you need to copy and paste. So you copy all that, and it goes into this section of your ad right here. You don't need the question mark because Facebook adds that automatically, but this is where you put it. So this is telling Google Analytics that the source of this ad is from Facebook, the medium is a website conversion, and the campaign is Topshop, or whatever you get to enter this. Enter whatever you want. And this is how you'll track it in analytics. You'll see how many sales did this campaign generate, and that's how you can see what ads are going to be effective. Obviously, it also will track conversions on here, but you need to be kind of careful with that because it's not always accurate. Let's see, where else are we at? What types of niches and products are best for long-term business in Shopify? I named a lot of them. You guys named them when you were submitting in sample niches. So I'll just go over some again. Cats, grandmas, elephants, cycling, pit bull, MMA, horses, snowboarding, camping, jewelry, beer. I'm sorry, jewelry is not a niche. Jewelry is a type of product that you would sell inside a niche store. Beer is definitely a niche. Yoga is a niche. Cycling is a niche. So those are all great long-term ones. Anything that's big, you'll definitely have a good time with. I ran an ad for 4 days and only reached 900 people. How can I increase that? From Jim Schwab. It depends on what your budget was. If you increase your budget, you'll definitely reach more, but that does seem kind of low for 900 people. I'm not sure if you were doing really low ad set budgets, but it's really just you got to spend more to show it to more people. If you fulfill your own products, how do you know how much inventory to order at once? You just kind of can use your reports for the previous week, and give a good sense. If you're selling a hot product, you're probably not going to be stuck with a lot of inventory if you're ordering, multiple times per week. So just kind of don't go overboard. Just kind of get a good sense of your sales and go from there. It's a lot of gut feeling on that. So some people asking about how much does the coaching program cost. Just message me. We could discuss that. I don't think it's expensive in terms of what you guys are thinking. The 2-month, and that was from George, and then Vadim, the 2-month coaching program. What are the details? Just message me and we could discuss it. Just in general, it's going to be 2 times a week. We will meet as a class, have a kickoff call, and we'll basically have 24/7 interaction in a private group. It's going to be $500 a month for 2 months. So, that's the info. Message me if you guys are interested. And like I said, we just started this week, so we'd want to have a kickoff call ASAP if you guys are going to be in, because the first class is actually starting tomorrow night. Looking forward to the replay. Okay, Will, you got it. Very stupid question. Do you create a new Shopify store for each niche? It's not a stupid question at all. It's actually a great question from Yas #1 Giants. I won't create a Shopify store just to test. I'll have a general store. I have multiple general stores, so I can do my testing in it. But when I do find a great niche, I will definitely 100% go into a new store. A new niche store. First of all, long-term goal, develop that, as an asset that kind of runs on its own, and you could sell that to a competitor in the niche. That's the big picture. But you're just going to have an easier time driving traffic to a niche store, and you might even be able to develop a brand that people actually like. So without a doubt, go to the niche store. Even if you're paying $79 a month plus more apps, it's still worth it. Okay. How many audiences to consider for one ad set? You want to have a lot of similar audiences in an ad set, and audiences or interests, I guess, are interchangeable. Same thing. But you want to just make sure that you have similar group things, like, for example, all magazines in one ad set or all brands in one ad set, and you want it to equal 75 to 300,000. Do you create lookalike audiences for scaling? Yes. I do that for only, my really obvious winners, and those kind of work the same way that broad audiences work. I don't start with them, obviously, and they're one of my last scaling things, and they do work pretty well, but it's never the highest ROI. But it's when you want to just show your winning product to a lot of people, then lookalike audiences are good. Do you let Facebook optimize your bids, or do you manual bidding? I'm a fan of simplicity. I let them I pretty much don't change anything in terms of the default options. I just want them to kind of do what they have planned to do. So no, I don't manual bid. I'm doing in-house fulfillment. That was a hat trick from Mikey 4. Nate, tier deals. Why do you favor the old pixel? Because I do everything in niches, and having a niche pixel is extremely powerful. So, the new pixel is going to be getting checkout data from every single product that you sell, but a niche pixel is only getting checkout data from people, checkout data from people who purchase all within the same niche. So it just is easier to optimize ads that way. And I do use the new pixel. I actually have both installed, and there's no reason why you can't have both pixels installed on your site. new and old. It's really all about what pixel you use to optimize your ads. The reason why I keep the new pixel on as well is because I just want to season that with as many sales as possible. So when they force me to switch out, I won't be starting from scratch. Is there an app to add a checkbox for shipping? Agree to the terms before add to cart. I haven't seen one, but the great thing about Shopify is if you have a question, Google it, and someone probably has already answered it. How do you track your expenses and accounts? It's the worst part of my day in my reporting, and it's very manual. I'm basically pulling exports from Shopify and Facebook ads, and I have a lot of Excel spreadsheets. So there's really no good way around it right now. Don Bethune, is there an app you use that enables you to charge separate shipping for multiple free plus shipping items purchased, while at the same time, yeah, that app is called Better Shipping. You could either use weight-based shipping and get very creative with your weights, or you can just use Better Shipping. I learned how to, the way I learned it was with weights, so I've still been using weight-based shipping, but the Better Shipping app, I think it's $15 a month. Make your life probably easier. What was the last fulfillment option of the 4 you mentioned from Tommy Wynn? Yeah, using another warehouse. So Amazon is a good example. Fulfillment by Amazon, FBA, is a fulfillment house, and there's a lot of other ones. Robert Nava has his own fulfillment house that you could send your products to, and he'll send them out. So there's definitely other options, but I just don't use it because I don't want to do. I want to do free plus shipping, and there's no margin for it there. Norman, how do you sell your higher price items? I sell them the same way I sell my free items. I do website conversion photo ads, and I basically have the same targeting. The only difference is I have a different price on it. Some items, could easily be interchanged from free to $24.99 at any given time. And obviously T-shirts are, I guess, quote unquote, higher priced items, and those don't go ever below, $19.99. Irfan, can you share your model of tracking money in and out? Yeah, this would be like a 4-hour call just on that. I do have an Excel sheet, and I actually use, it's been revised a few times to fit my own needs, but I use Damien's Excel sheet that he shared like in 2013. So message me or post in the group, and I can show it to you, but it's super confusing. So I wouldn't say it's so great. Might have missed this during the niche research, but any tips on finding higher cost products in the $30 range? That's from Will. No, I think that's all about perceived value, and really anything can be a $30 product if you make it $29.99. I've seen people sell, like I said, free plus shipping items and then the same product on another store for $30. So it's really about what you think the product should cost when you're sourcing it on AliExpress. It's hard to say. It would really depend on your niche, but price things higher and just see what happens. Do you brand your products before shipping? No, I don't brand them at this point. I have a lot of stores and niches that have a brand name, but I haven't gotten into actually branding it. When you're starting a new store and testing a niche, do you immediately add full price items too? Do you have a sweet spot for a number of items in your store? I've launched a store a couple months ago with 200 items, and I've also launched a store with 6 items. And I think 6 is the minimum. 3 free plus shipping and 3 full priced. So yeah, I do immediately add full price items. What's a good time to start a second or third store? As soon as you figure out a niche to sell in. So your first store might be general, and then you go into a niche. If you do start with a niche store, then don't go to the second store until you've mastered that niche. Samir, Sam Cool 80, will it be one-on-one coaching or group coaching? It's going to be, I guess you could call it a combination of both. It's going to be one-on-ones and then also group meetings, plus one-on-one through. When I say group meetings, everyone's going to be on a call at once, and then also the group, which is basically the main resource. It's a private. It's not the open group. It's another private group that you would join. So that's for Samir. Sophia, how will an order work if a customer buys an item that you sell in-house? Oh, right. That's a great question. And I was actually talking to someone else. Phil and I had a discussion about this probably months ago, and there really aren't any great options. In terms of the 2 tracking numbers, you want to protect yourself with at least 1 tracking number. So, I wouldn't worry about putting both in there. There's really no way around it at this point if you have them in different fulfillment houses. Right now that's happening on some stores where I have shirts and I upsell products that I ship in-house, and you really just have to separate them when you're doing your in-house fulfillment, or if you were going to drop ship them, you would just have to separate the orders and send them to each supplier. So, you just need to worry about populating one tracking number just to make sure that, you kind of are safe from chargebacks. Do you duplicate your ad sets for scaling out, Mikey? No, I don't duplicate them, and I don't duplicate them and just leave them the same. I duplicate them and then I'll add, or I'll completely remove the targeting and add, very different targeting in there. How much time do you need to spend on this per day to run a shop that's doing $200 profit per day? It's very hard to say. You could have a $200 day on your first day, or it could take 60 days to do it. It's all about finding the right product and niche combination. George, what will you teach on this 2-month program? Is it results-oriented coaching? I would hope so. Yeah. I hope everyone has some great results. We're teaching. The goal is pretty much start to finish, everything from sourcing a product. Selecting a niche, sourcing a product, mastering Facebook ads, niche domination. All the stuff that we've been talking about in greater detail, obviously. Mikey. Besides free plus shipping, is there any other strategies you use? Yeah, I just sell normal products. I do normal price plus reasonable shipping, like $5, and sell a lot that way. So I don't think that you really need to do any other crazy strategy. Just use free plus shipping to make it easier to sell full price. Nate, tier deals. You mentioned you bid for add to cart. Is that on the new or old pixel? That's on new. I think that's really the only option that you have when you do add to cart. I'm not sure if it was on the old pixel unless you specifically set up a add to cart pixel, which I didn't really mess with. So I'm talking about the new pixel, Nate. Do you always start with free shipping when starting out with drop shipping? Yeah, I always start with free shipping no matter what. Free plus shipping no matter what. How do I do customer service? I have a team that I hired. They're local. I think it's pretty important to have people locally rather than rely on VAs. I don't sell on Amazon, Norman. I don't plan to sell on Amazon either, but who knows? eBay bot. Do I print my labels from Shopify? No, I print them from Shipping Easy. It's one of the worst products ever, but there's really no, kind of no other option. I think ShipStation or whatever is basically the same. So just got to live with it. If you are just getting started, what would be a good starting budget for the first month for ads? I don't know. It's hard to say because a lot could change. I would say that, plan to spend, let's say you want to test 3 free plus shipping products, plan to spend at least $45 to test those products. That's $5 over 3 days, so $15 per ad, and then you have 3 ads. So, talk about $45 to test, just the most basic testing, and then you're going to probably want to continue. So, I would say at the very least $15 a day times 30 is, 450, I think, so somewhere around there. So your normal price ads are just like get this $29.95 and free. I guess you mean what my ad copy is? Yeah, I used to test ad copy a lot. I found it doesn't really matter. So I just pretty much copy and paste my ad copy in there, and I don't put the price in the ad or anything like that. Yas, number one Giants. Also, if you create a general store to test out niches, will the store have product from all different niches? Yeah, it would a general store could have products. It will have products from everywhere, but it's really just a testing ground. When you find that, let's say you find EMTs are really taking off, you want to go and make your own EMT store. Devin Schumacher, I missed half of the webinar, so sorry if this is a repeat. How much is the coaching? It's all right. It's $500 a month for 2 months. It's a 2-month program. It's literally just starting this week. So message me on Facebook if you're interested. What theme do you use in your store? I use a couple of different ones. I use Retina from Out of the Sandbox, I think, and I also use Brooklyn, which is a free theme. I like it a lot. It looks great on mobile. So yeah, Brooklyn right now is kind of the go-to one. May info, have I tried ShipStation? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what's awesome about it. You can tell how negative I am about all these ones. So if you think it's awesome, message me. I'm very interested to hear why. What are some of the must-haves in every store to improve conversions? That's a great question. First of all, you want to test your checkout to make sure that everything is working. That's the biggest conversion killer, when they actually just can't check out. But otherwise, some must-haves. I think, there could be a huge discussion about, user experience, but I think it's about keeping it simple and not making it hard for them to just find what they want. So that means, a good, definitely include related products on your pages and, just make sure it's clean and tested. All these themes that you're going to use are pretty much, they work pretty well. So I don't think you really need to do massive conversion rate optimization or anything like that. Some things that have increased my conversion rate are upsell apps and the Notify app. This is, some people don't like it. I found that it did increase my conversion a little bit, and that's that little pop-up on the bottom left of the screen that says like, John Doe just bought this item from Atlanta, Georgia, or whatever. So that's a good one to have. It's only $15 a month. Ron Ruiz, you're welcome. Nate, tier deals. How's my experience with Retarget app? It's been great. A lot of people say, oh, the reporting is inaccurate. I spent some time with them to actually look through the sales, and it seemed pretty accurate to me. I mean, they were over by a couple, but who knows what that could be from? Probably on the Facebook side. So it's been a great investment, and I track it through Google Analytics because they use the UTM tagging, like I was showing Sophia earlier. So I mean, you can prove it yourself by looking at your Google Analytics. And I think actually last time it was like, I think in the screenshot I posted, it was like 200 something dollars spent or 250 and got back like 2,300 in revenue. So, I mean, it's definitely great. What are the must-have apps when starting out besides Notify? Well, I guess Retarget app is a good one. You don't need an order tracking app anymore because that's built in. You do need some mailing list integration like Aweber or MailChimp. They have apps for Shopify. You need an upsell app. Oh, you definitely need a cart abandonment app. I currently use Abandon Protector. It's $8 a month, and it's really great. It's you'll probably make your $8 back within the first day. So just get that for sure, and that's really all I have to start off with. What are the basic must-have apps? I just mentioned those, Fayez. I apologize if this has been asked. When do you give up on a niche product? Yeah, that's actually a good question. If I'm not making sale, I'm going to test 3 products and I'm going to test 3 very separate interests. And if I literally don't make any sales, or if I'm, real negative, I'm just going to leave because, there's so many niches out there. It's not worth spending a lot of time and money in it. I would hope that doesn't happen on the initial run because then, I feel like I'm at least good enough to pick some free products that are going to sell. And then, I'll stay in a niche until I start losing money, really, because at the beginning, I just want to see if it's going to work or not. So. If it's really just not working, then it's very obvious, and I leave. Mikey, do you do retargeting app ads or just use Retarget app? Depends on how lazy I am, really. I mean, on some stores I have retargeting ads, and in some other stores I just strictly use retargeting app. I mean, it saves you so much time that I just wonder what the opportunity cost is to actually sit down and make those ads. So yeah, I'm pretty much just using Retarget app right now. Let's see what else I got. All right, yeah, that's I think that's all the questions, unless I'm missing some on. Yeah, that's it. So unless you guys have any other questions, real quick, thanks again for coming here. I did get one more question. Marie, you're welcome. Sophia, how does the Shopify order look like with one in-house product and one dropship product? The order is still going to come in. It's going to have both of those products on the line, like on the order line, and it's going to be, when you're, depending on how you do fulfillment. I know specifically for you, you're going to be looking at the orders and see, what products you have in-house and what you dropship. So you're just going to basically export products that you dropship and then send them to your supplier. So they will be grouped in the order. But if you go to orders and you export, or if you go to product, or I'm sorry, if you go to your reports and view sales by product and then export, you'll get an individual list of products that you'll need to order from drop shipping. So it will all come in together, but you just need to kind of separate it yourself. Nate, best time of day to raise budget? I do it early in the morning, as early as possible since I'm in Los Angeles, so I'm 3 hours behind. So, ideally 8 a.m. I mean, if I was on the East Coast, I would also do it at 8 a.m. So basically as early as possible. With Retarget app, do you just post everything on the same fan page? Yeah, because I have niche stores, so the fan pages make sense anyway. I mean, if you had a general store, I guess it could be an issue, but I just posted all on the same fan page. Mikey, is Facebook my only traffic source? I do email marketing, and I'm starting to get some SEO traffic, but yeah, it's my only paid traffic source. Well, actually, I guess Instagram too, but I don't really count that since it's still Facebook. Instagram has actually been pretty great, over the past couple of weeks, and um, it's actually very easy to start making sales on Instagram. All you need is a proven product. So I'm actually gonna be talking about that later on in the week in my group. So check that out for some Instagram stuff. But yeah, Facebook / Instagram is the only paid traffic source, plus a little bit of Pinterest, but that's really niche specific. eBay bot is the last question. Do I raise budgets more than once a day? On extreme winners, I will. I've heard about the pusher method, and I'm not exactly sure the details of that, but I know they want you to scale multiple times per day. I mean, sometimes there's shirts that literally seem like they are just going to never stop selling. So I will definitely scale those, and that's always fun when you could keep pressing refresh and see more sales. So, I mean, in some extreme cases, I'll scale from $0 to $500 in a day. But I mean, I would really have to be selling like literally 50 or 100 of those. If the example is shirts, like 50 or 100 shirts for me to do that. So that's it, guys. I'm going to post this recording. Yeah, you're welcome, Ty. I'm going to post this recording on my group. And, if you guys aren't in it, just search on Facebook for Cener eCom Mastermind, CENER. And you're welcome, guys, for sure. I'm going to do this again probably next week. So all the details will be in the group. And, yeah, just don't hesitate to post questions in there. It's what it's there for sure. And we can